Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Wendy. Ah, my nose is itching. Hi, Lavender. How are you? I feel like my hair looks like Albert Einstein. Hi, Petra. Glad to have you. Mishi. Hello, Melanie. Welcome back. Nice to see you again. Rochelle. Hello, Jay. And for all who are joining, if it's your first time, please say hello. Or if you're returning as well. Welcome, Crystal. Glad to have you. If anybody is new here, I'm curious, are you joining randomly? Are you joining because of the topic? Yeah, I knew that was coming. And let's see. Okay. Isn't this interesting? That's what I'm thinking. Isn't it interesting? I haven't sneezed all morning. I haven't felt that until this moment. So maybe somebody's sneezing in the group. Hi, Patriot Lady. Thank you. Glad to have you join intentionally, setting the timer. Hi, Vicky. The topic, Crystal, new bedtime routine. So I imagine you are in the US or Western Hemisphere somewhere. So if you are new to me and new to my profile, don't forget to give me a follow here on Insight Timer. Give a donation if you feel called to do so. Maybe I'm picking up on people's allergies. No, who knows? Maybe. But yeah, I have been sneezing a little. So hi, Angela. And also, if you want to follow me on other platforms, would love to have you join me on my YouTube and Facebook, Instagram, website. And you can see here in Insight Timer my profile, my teacher profile. Go to the About section and there's a link that links everything to how you can find me. So yeah, maybe I'm picking up on the allergies. It's definitely in the realm of possibility. Yeah, because it's just like I sit down in the minute I turn on the live, this is happening. So, let's see. Welcome, Julie. All right. So let's jump in to what we're doing here today. Always a very hot topic, money. How do you feel when you think about money? How do you feel when I even say that word 5 times fast? Yeah, there's so much energy around the word and the topic and the thing that we call money. So Melanie feels stressed. I also want to say too, before I forget, if you can't stay the whole time or anything like that, the replays for all my lives are now available on my YouTube because I'm streaming live there as well right now too. So you can always, if you subscribe there, you can follow the lives and watch replays in the live section of my channel, FYI. So why do we want to talk about this? Why do we want to bring this up? Why do we want to have a subject live stream and think and talk about money and money blocks and money fears and abundance and wealth? Because it affects us. It affects us all. It affects us all deeply. I doubt there's anybody here who has not been affected by anything to do with money at some point in their life. Oh, by the way, I am having to keep my phone on because I might be getting a delivery, and I'll deal with that. But yeah, if you hear my phone. Yeah, so not having cash, you felt less than. Angela's body gets a quick reaction. So I want to give a bit about why I'm doing this topic now. And those that follow me already have heard this story, and I don't want to go into, well, I'll just go into it, but I want to keep it brief. A few months ago, I had manifested, it wasn't conscious, but that's okay. I had created my best friend coming here to Bali. I live in Bali, by the way, on vacation, and he offered to pay for me to join him on vacation, and I planned the vacation. So we took this wonderful vacation together. Basically, I got a free vacation because he paid for everything, and his name is Mark. So it's just very interesting because on that vacation, I got a message during the vacation. I woke up one morning to a message from my ex-husband, who is also named Mark. And he had told me that he had been going through a lot in his life. We have been separated 10 years, so we've been apart a long time. But he was having stuff come up in his life, doing healing in his own life, and he said he never felt right that when we ended the marriage that I left with nothing. And he gave me a very generous monetary gift of, from that. And it was so unexpected. It was so out of the blue. It was so generous, and it was not a small amount. What I noticed immediately, I'm opening this message, I'm reading, he's basically making amends to me and apologizing, and then saying, as part of that, I want to give you this gift. And I'm just crying and overcome, with emotion just around the whole relationship part. And then he wants to give me this gift, and I'm just like, wow. And I immediately notice my mind, because he didn't put an amount. He's like, I'll deposit it in your account. My mind immediately was like, oh my God, how much? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? Oh my God, I better not get my hopes up. This stream of addictive thinking, really. It was like my mind was an addict about the money. The minute money came in, the money addict mind was like wanting to know how much, and then trying to work with not having expectations, don't want to get disappointment. What if it's only $500 or $1,000, or what if it's $50,000 or whatever, right? But I sat and I just noticed. I noticed the energy in the body. It was like a drug addict. Can anyone relate to kind of that energy around money and having that experience? It was so interesting and powerful. And of course I judged myself because I felt grateful and expansive just for a moment. It was just for a moment. And then immediately it was like, woof, like how much, when, how much and when, how much and when. And then he sent it to me quickly, and it was what I was hoping for. So I immediately felt good, but then like after that, ooh, then I was like, oh, okay, well, I can pay off my credit card and that's it. And then, or like, oh, but it's not enough to take care of my money problems. It's not enough to take, not even problems. It's not enough to take care of my money worries. So immediately the mind went into scarcity and lack. And then he asked me, he's like, did you get it? And he's like, I hope it was enough. Because he just was doing this. Nobody was telling him. So he just went with himself, and he's like, I hope this is enough. And the money addict mind was like thinking, well, no, it's not enough, but I can't tell that because then I don't want to seem ungrateful. And I mean, this whole constellation of thoughts and emotions of just utter scarcity and lack and fear, and then judgment. I'm judging the shit out of myself because I'm like, this is a gift out of nowhere. How can I want more? And so I just said, I said, thank you. This is amazing. This is great. I said, anything helps, because that was the way I thought would be an okay way to say. Then I had a session with my coach, and I am a life coach, by the way. I didn't really introduce myself, but you can find out more about me if you'd like. I had a session with my own life coach. I was telling him the story, and I was thinking about the rest of this smallish debt that I had, and he's like, why don't you just ask him to take care of that debt for you? Why don't you just ask him? Say you need this much more to take care of this debt. And I'm like, I could never do that. Oh my God, then I would seem ungrateful. And yeah, exactly, Angela. And he's like, why not? Let him take care of that for you. He's given you this gift. He wants to help you. And I was like thinking, I was like, well, okay. I mean, the worst he can do is just say no. And so I did. I said, look, I have this last bit of credit card debt here. And it would really be helpful if you could, pay that off for me, or help me, give me the money to pay that off. And he said, my husband, I mean, he's amazing. He was like, I acknowledge you I know that must have taken a lot of courage for you to ask, and I'm happy to do that for you. And so he sent me even more to do that. And again, this whole experience, like, it felt good for a moment, but that lack and scarcity mindset was just overwhelming. So Petra can feel that energy. Mel, a client, said they wired money and you kept seeing it comes through. I can relate to that. So all of that brought up for me, and then I was reading this book at the time, or I started reading it around then, called Get Rich Lucky Bitch. And in that book, she had this chapter. So one of the money block releases I'm going to show you, is from that book, by the way. But there was this whole chapter on celebrities. There was this whole chapter of her book where she was like, example after example, sharing about people that became rich, movie stars or music stars or TV stars or things like that. And maybe even lottery winners, but it was more like celebrities, where she would show their lives and how they blew their money and lost their money. And we don't hear a ton about that with celebrities. Like, I think she even talked about Britney Spears and how, like, she mismanaged her contract and you know, she's not getting the royalties she should have, or I mean other things where they just had this ton of money and they just blew it. And the point of that was to show that money isn't going to fix the underlying issue. And so after the experience I just shared with you about this wonderful, like, Mark manifestation, you know, this wonderful vacation, and on the vacation, you know, the receiving this gift, and I saw so clearly when I was reading that book that, you know, how many of you think that just if you had more money, that would solve the problem? How many of you believe that? That's what I've believed. I've always, it's just like innate. It's like a natural belief that more money would solve the problem. And that's where I was until like a month ago. And I didn't even realize it. It wasn't even conscious. But once I got the money, I saw this has nothing to do with the amount of money. Yeah. So Mel wants to know how to earn money. Earning. Why did you put earn in quotes? I'm curious. Melanie worked in the industry and saw those examples. Yeah, dreaming of winning the lottery. And how we all hear that about lottery winners. And my father, he got in a really bad car accident like 20 years ago. He got $250,000 US dollars in a settlement from this car accident. And he blew it, and it's long gone. And he got swindled out of it, some of it, and he just totally mismanaged it. And, you know, all this stuff comes from childhood where everything starts, right? So this is a good segue into doing the first money block releasing exercise, because it all does start in childhood. And I talked in our live the other day about our mind, 0 to 8 years old, is not fully formed. And then at 8 years old, the conscious and subconscious separate and shut. And so whatever you've heard, whatever you've been told, 0 to 8 is stored in the subconscious as programs and limiting beliefs and paradigms. And so, of course, you hear about money as a kid. And then that colors our perceptions and beliefs and things moving forward. So, and with my dad, there's a ton of stuff around him and money, and I mean, both my parents and all of that. So what are the things that you heard in childhood or learned about money that are not helpful and light and positive and expansive? I mean, I'm curious, has anyone here received any positive money messages from childhood? I can think of, I mean, I don't know if it's positive or negative, but I think it's kind of positive. My parents, they got me this little booklet. It was a budget book, and it had these little pages with envelopes. You could make a budget and you could put money in. And that memory is not negative. It's like being a positive steward of money. And also, too, it was like this importance of it. Like, you got to respect it. And so I feel like it wasn't necessary. I mean, it was a little bit fun, but other than that, every other memory and thought and thing about money as a kid was negative. So, yeah, seeing all your comments coming in. Melanie feels like money would fix everything. You know, that's been my underlying belief that I didn't know was there until I received this money and saw the constellation of reaction that I had and saw just the addiction. And so the other book that I finished around that time, around money, was called How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever by Victor Bach. And so the other two practices I'm going to share are from that book as well. And yeah, why was I saying that right now? Oh, yeah, I think because of how those stories and energy. Oh, yeah, because he talks about, he brings in this idea in his book about being addicted to money. And I had never thought of it before like that. But after I read that book, I'm like, I see it. I feel it there. And thank God it's not 100% of me, right? It's getting to be a smaller and smaller percentage, but I can still see that there. Now I'm the witness. Now I'm the observer. Instead of swimming in a sea of just being that experience of this person that's, you know, addicted to money without knowing it, I can step back and see there's this energy that's still there, and I'm working on it and I'm working through it, and I'm doing a lot around that right now, which is why I'm here with you to share my journey. And yeah, so for me to look at these celebrities in that book and see how they, you know, money did not fix or solve their problems. You know, it's not about the money. It's about me, and here the emotions, the programs, the inner child that feels terrified about money because that's what she grew up with. Healing these energies is what I need to do. And then actually it's going to contribute to allowing more abundance to flow. Hi, Ginger. So it's better to have problems and have money than have problems and no money. So that's a great point, Patriot Lady. So like 20 years ago, I had my own business. I was a colon hydrotherapist. And I was quite successful. I mean, I was very successful. And what I realized even 20 years ago was when I did earn more money, it was just one less problem to worry about. I still remember having that awareness, like, because it's a pattern. It's about me and how I interact in the world. You know, from childhood or whatever, my mind just goes to money's the biggest problem. I need money. There's not enough money. But whenever I got more money and I earned more money and I was super successful in my business, my mind just went to the next topic. So how many people can relate to that? The Great Depression. Yeah. So just reading these. Oh, your dad, Melanie, stole money from your piggy bank. Yeah, and at school, that's another thing, Patriot Lady. We are not taught about, you know, life skills like money management in school. Welcome, Anne. Thank you for sharing. Were you here whenever I talked about the part about like being addicted to money? Because that's what I hear, like because we feel like like if you think about somebody addicted to drugs, it's this desperation, this anxiety, and you can't think about anything else. And it's like, I have to have it. Like, I feel like I can't exist without it. And it's such a powerful feeling. And so in the book, How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever, it talks about the energy of addiction is going to push the thing away, right? Because that energy is a natural repellent resistant energy, because if we think about law of attraction or things like that, it's going to perpetuate that energy of need, of lack, of scarcity, of addiction, of fear, of anxiety around the money. So, first step, we get to, and you can, if you choose to do this, we've got to clear the old energies from childhood and start healing that stuff. Yeah. And it feels like shitty to think of it like I'm addicted to money, but it feels true. In the experience I described in receiving that gift from my ex, I really saw it. And that's kind of what woke me up, in addition to reading these books and that all happening at the same time. So, how we start healing and shifting these energies, step one is, and of course, use discretion for yourself. Hi, Andrea. Hi, Nikki. I'm just seeing some familiar faces float by the screen. Is to go back through your life up until now, and you think back to every negative, stressful memory you have about money, and write it down. It doesn't take long. Maybe took 20 minutes. It might feel like it takes forever, but it really doesn't. So you want to write down every example, every memory. Yeah. Hi, Paris. Wonderful. How do you feel about that? Glad to have you. Yeah, so this is tough, and that's what I'm saying. Use discretion for yourself, but this is the exercise. Write down every, and I mean, yeah, so write down every negative memory or belief. Money doesn't grow on trees, whatever. Or, the time my parents were in a fight, blah, 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 just whatever. Or it could be with friends, did you let somebody borrow money and they didn't give it back? There's so many things here, which that reminds me of another one to add to my list. Thanks, Patriot Lady, for the summary sentence there. So after you write those down, the practice is every day, and this just takes a few minutes, that you do the Ho'oponopono Hawaiian forgiveness prayer mantra around each of those memories or beliefs or stories. So that means saying, thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. You can add in, I forgive myself at the end if you'd like. That's a modification, or you can use the original. Thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. You can order those four in any way that you want. And that's a whole other story about Ho'oponopono. And actually, I'm doing a live stream on that later in the month. So if you want to dive deeper into that, come to that live. But for this, we're not going to dive deep. I'm just going to give you the tool. Or you can reach out and ask me about it if you want. So every day, you repeat that mantra and you feel into that, the energies there. until these things lose their charge, their energetic charge. You're also going to find new things will come up and you will add them. Like actually, somebody last week asked me to, or they offered me an opportunity to invest in their new company. And the minute they brought this to me, I felt extreme panic. I felt extreme panic at this proposition, because I'm like, oh my God, they want money, they want to borrow money, or they have some ulterior motive about this investment. I don't trust it. It's not safe. And I saw all this coming up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, isn't, like, before I would just be that reaction. Now I can see it. And I was like, isn't this interesting? Why am I feeling terrified at somebody offering me an investment opportunity? I mean, sure, there's energy of like, I don't trust it, I don't know about it, but that doesn't warrant this huge emotional response. And so I just was noticing and like, wow, okay, this is interesting. And then I was like, wait a minute, like, what if this is a great opportunity? What if this is amazing? Like, it's just as much as I felt scared, could I be, wow, look, thank you, universe. Now, I didn't take the opportunity, but just noticing the reaction. That's not from now. That's historical. If it's hysterical, it's historical. And then as I'm contemplating this experience and being with it, I had this memory come up from when I was a kid at the dinner table. And my mom was always trying to make my dad get a better job. There was always a thing about my dad's job wasn't good enough, didn't pay enough, and my mom's always trying to get him to get a better job. And there was this job opportunity. This man was supposed to call and he never called, and then it became this, sensitive topic. Oh, and I'm just plugging this in. So this memory flashed in of me asking, did Bob call about the job? And my mom freaking out. So that came up after this investment thing. And then I had another memory of like, oh my gosh, I remember now, my dad had let his brother borrow money as a kid, and my uncle never paid it back. Oh my God, that topic was, that was the worst topic that could be brought up in the family. And I remember, I was a kid. I remember one time being like, is he going to pay that back? And oh my God. So those two very deep memories came up out of my presence in this situation. So those went on the list. Yeah, the hysteria comes from. Ooh, I love that, Angela. Belief is someone else's opinion. Yeah, I saw that too. Did we see that in the same place? I just saw that in the past 24 hours on somewhere, social media. Oh, and yeah, if it's hysterical, it's historical. Came from Al-Anon, I think, is where I got it from, which is a 12-step program. You're hysterical around your mother 80% of the time. Oh, I can relate to that. Oh, actually, on a slight side note, my mother and I, we don't really talk. And she called me like 2 nights ago, and my phone rang, and I saw it was my mother, and oh my God, the emotional response in my body to seeing. Again, who is it? This is so interesting. Isn't it interesting that my mother calling brings me into total anxiety Wow. What interesting information here. So I sat with that energy and just noticed. Yeah, there's still a lot of healing possible there. Thank you, Patriot Lady. Thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, and the ACOA. So the other day in the live we talked about ACOA stands for Adult Children of Alcoholics, and it is now Adult Children of Dysfunctional Families. So if any of this resonates, you might want to check that program out. So you start doing, we've got to clear the energies around these old beliefs. So I'm doing that every day. So writing down all the memories. Thank you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, I love you. Just feeling into each one. Let's do that for a moment now because the energy's up. I can feel it. Just feeling into the body. Just everything that's up here for you right now. Also, I've already channeled Reiki into the space. So it's been channeling for those who want to receive. Just feeling in the body. Any images or memories that are up for you. You don't need to dive into them, just see them from afar. But just consider, thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. You can add in, I forgive myself. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I forgive myself. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I forgive myself. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. I forgive myself. Okay. Oh my gosh, Paris. Your mom died 4 weeks ago. Oh wow, that sounds like a not a good situation. My condolences. Hi, Olivia. Our nervous system doesn't know taxes, but knows the feelings around it. Yeah, interesting. Carmina, yeah. Your family put the fun in dysfunctional. It's good to have some lightness around these things as appropriate. So, because all of this is here, and like I talked about in the live the other day, if you think of an iceberg, 10% is what you see above the surface of the water and 90% is below. The same is here with our thinking, our conscious mind, and our subconscious programming and beliefs. And so it's already, all this stuff is here. It's just we ignore it, or we don't see it, or we don't see it, we don't know it until we do. So it's already driving us. So we get to do this work if we want to clear this stuff that's here. So that step is from the book Get Rich Lucky Bitch. And then yeah, the second step to clearing our money beliefs. Oh yeah, okay, I'm like, wait, what is it? These 2 steps are from the Victor Bach book, How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever. So he talks about, okay, making a list of needs. Do you have, like, is your home being foreclosed on? Do you have debt? Do you have bills? Do you need new tires? Are your tires bald on your car? Like, needs. right? Are there holes in your shoes? Writing those things down. Now, I'm just giving you a snapshot. You know, there's deeper layers to this in the book, or I work with people on this too. Patriot Lady, the reparenting. Yes, I'm all about reparenting right now as I'm in my own process. Actually, I want to show y'all. I'm sure you've seen it. That's my lock screen, me, little me. So you make a list of things you need, and then you make a list of your wants and your desires. So, thank you. When you look at your wants and your desires, there can be a lot of energy around that, because sometimes we think we should want something, but we don't really want it. So, you know, and then there can also be judgment. Like, I want a mansion on the beach in Hawaii. There might be judgments around that, like, I shouldn't want that, or that's not spiritual, or, you know, I'm not good enough for that, or things like that. Okay, so what if there's limiting stories there? That's okay, but you really want to discern: is it something that society, culture is traditional for us to want, or is it a true desire for you? And it's okay. Like in the book, he gives example, like one example, I want a new Lexus car. Fine. The thing is, do you really want it? So like maybe the mansion or maybe the Ferrari might be things that we think, you know, we want, but in actuality, they're really not that important to us. I mean, it might be friendships, it might be romance. So think about, you know, physical body, might be weight loss or eyesight or even fertility or, you know, anything health related, you know, healing from any sort of an issue, health, romance, relationship. So anything in the relationships arena, then, you know, career, money, finance, anything in that area, or material possessions, material things that you want to create. And then like spiritual or self-development, you know, like inner peace or things like that. So yes, Get Rich Lucky Bitch was one. And the other one, How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever. Wouldn't it be amazing to feel like you've solved all your money problems forever? How would that feel? How would that feel? Oh my gosh. All my money problems are solved. Whew. Because it's like a sea that we've swam in, many of us, from since childhood, because our parents also swam in that sea, right? So you want to write down your needs, your essentials at this time. You want to write down your vision. And it might be like accomplishments. Like you want to get a PhD in neuroscience, or you might, you know, want to be, I don't know, anything, a CEO of something, or have your own business. So you want the goals, or, you know, if it's like, and you want to be specific with all of this. If you need $2,200 to pay off a bill, put that for the specific bill. With the desires and the visions, you want to be specific there. Like, I want a new car. I want a new red Lexus. And one thing I feel like some of you are going to have is this judgment around wanting things isn't spiritual, wanting money isn't spiritual. Is anybody having that come up? What is your wow about, Angela? If you care to share. So you want to go through each of these after you write the list. And the book, of course, goes into a lot more detail. And you want to look at, again, like discerning, do I really want this? And you want to come up with a list of 3 to 10 things, 10 max. And you want to combine the needs list and the desires list. You make one list, you pick out, you discern that for yourself, 3 to 10 from both. And this is going to be your list of affirmations that you're going to create. Ooh, I love that, Tim, because success is about us changing and growing and evolving and making progress towards something. And I mean, how many people, like the celebrities or whatever, are people that, you know, they want to be a millionaire CEO and then they become it and then they're like, oh my gosh, my life is hollow and meaningless. Midlife crisis, anyone? Right? So that's also an aspect. Ooh, interesting, Angela. Freedom, yes. As a Sagittarius moon and a sun in the Venus in the 9th house, Sagittarius, I am all about freedom. So yeah, so I help people, you know, live a life they don't need a vacation from, just like I do. Yeah, I hear that, Carmina. Ooh, Melanie, I may have a resource for you that's affordable, depending on your definition of that, as far as a person to work with you on the inner child stuff, because that's what I'm doing. I can recommend my person. So reach out if that's interesting. Hi, Mark. So you want to get your list. How do you formulate the list? So you write these affirmations down like this. I, and then your name. Yeah, send me a message for sure. I'm just typing this out as an example. So this is how you're going to frame your, so if it is that you need to pay off bills or if the things that you desire, you write it down like that. I, and then your name, whatever name you most are comfortable with yourself, and then the thing. So this is one of my favorites that came from the book. I, Natalie, have solved all my money problems forever. It just feels like the biggest relief. So that's like one of my favorites. So you write that down, and then you have your list, and you write all of those in that way. And again, be specific. You know, not I want more money, but you know, I have at least $50,000 in the bank at all times, or $1 million, or $5 million, or whatever, right? And then what you do with this list is you commit. You make a commitment to do this. Don't half-ass it and then say it's not going to work. Half-ass it and then make yourself right about that. How many of you have done that before? I can raise my hand, and I saw myself wanting to do that with this. If I don't fully commit, if I don't do the whole process, then when it doesn't work, I'll feel validated. So I have committed. I'm doing this. I've been doing it. I've missed one day in 6 weeks. So morning and evening, first thing in the morning, last thing at night, you read your list out loud and you feel into the energy of each of these affirmations, and you have a creative visualization about it. This doesn't take long, like 17 seconds, as Abraham Hicks would say. At least 17 seconds. I've solved all my money problems forever. Oh my gosh, I feel it in my body. I picture my life now as I'm moving in my life, that all my money problems are solved forever. How does that feel as I'm moving through my day? Start to feel into that energy and commit to doing this. I don't know. I think he says 3 to 6 months or longer, maybe longer, in the book. These may change. I've already removed some. I've already added some. I've already tweaked, then edited and polished them. So allow that to happen, he says in the book. It's okay. Trust that. Once a day, write one of the affirmations 10 to 20 times on a piece of paper. Once a day, write one of them 10 to 20 times. So you don't want them to be like super, super, super long, and you just pick what you want to write. Just go with your intuition. So you can write it out. I, Natalie, have solved all my money problems forever. I do it right after I read mine in the morning. It makes sense. Then it's done for the day. He says you can also frame it in second person and third person. Second person, you, Natalie, have solved all your money problems forever, because that's hits a different part of the mind. You can say she, Natalie, has solved all her money problems forever. So you can do that too. And then at the end of the night, you read them out loud and feel into them and have the visualization with them again. That's that process. So that's creating the energy, bringing the energy to you. Now, you might not believe them, and that he goes over that in the book. That's why it's repetition. So that's about bringing these things to you. The third step, which is kind of my favorite, is what's called glad giving. Glad giving. Because this addresses that addiction to money energy, that grasping, needy, attachment, lack, scarcity, anxiety, stress, energy that comes up around money. That addictive energy repels money. And think about it. It repels things. How many times have you wanted something really bad and had that energy about it and you never got it? Because that energy perpetuates that energy. That's why we do the affirmations and the creative visualization and the feeling piece. So glad giving helps to break the addiction to money. So what that is, moving forward, every time you receive money, you give money. So I love what he says in the book, because he's like, a homeless person can do this. Everybody can do this, because it's based on you getting money. So you're giving when you get. So he says 1 to 5% of what you receive, you give. Not 10%. It's not tithing. You get $1,000. You give $10. So it's doable. What that does is it starts breaking that addiction to money energy, and it starts helping. If anybody has been somebody that's like clung and grasped, and I can't spend money and I have to save and hang on to every dollar,
this process helps to start breaking that energy apart. Hi, Sam. So there's 2 books I'm taking these money block practices from. Get Rich Lucky Bitch and How to Solve All Your Money Problems Forever, which is what's right now, this comes from that. So you can give 1 to 5%. When you receive, you give. You can give to organizations. You can give to individuals. Give where your heart feels light. I've received some abundance lately, and I love it. It's like I receive money, and then I'm like, ooh, who do I get to give this to? It's so fun. Like Oprah, right? What does Oprah say in her, when she had her show and she was giving cars to everybody in the audience? There was some like tag thing she said. Or like, you and you. One time, Diana, she's not here, I don't think, but she went to see Oprah and she was in a show where she received stuff. Like, and we were in this jubilation live meditation here. It was so fun because my jubilation practice is about really conjuring and creating this energy of fun and abundance. And she's like, oh my God. And I brought up Oprah. She's like, I had that happen to me. And she listed all the things that she got from that Oprah show. You get a car. Is that what it was? Wendy. I love that. You're freeing yourself from that thinking. So yeah, so the glad giving's nice because it's not a burden because it's such a small amount, and it's not like you start from now moving forward with the next money you get in. So like last night, because I've got some money, I received some, which I celebrate, and so that means I get to give it. And like I live in Bali, and the economic disparity is huge between foreigners and locals. It's just the way it is. And so for me to give what I consider a small amount is a huge amount for them. So it's super fun. And last night when I got my food delivery, I tipped the driver basically like a day's pay. And it's just so fun because I assume they rarely, if ever, get a tip like that. So I love doing that. And I did it. I told the story before about the parking lady here at the motorbike parking, and I did the same with her, and she was so thankful. So if you like to give like that, great. If you like to give to an organization where you truly are like, because I also have done that as well, and to be really behind and believe in an organization, you can give there too. So the process, to break it down for Sam and others who may have missed it. Step 1, write down all your shitty money memories from your whole life, everything where there's a negative energy experience around anything to do with money. I've got one. I don't know. It'll be a miracle if I ever am, which it can happen, am able to release this one. But my great aunt, who married into the family, so you can hear the resentment here that my mind has, and not just me, but my whole family. She gave $10 million to a library in her will. She gave like my mom and her sisters some stuff, but my generation, we got nothing. And I remember like we getting this news, oh my God, she gave all of her money to this freaking library. Like, so that's on the list. Oh, Melanie, you were in Bangkok. Yeah, so it's similar energy. They just love it. Yeah. So write all that stuff down every day. Go through the list and do Ho'oponopono on each of those stories, memories, beliefs. Thank you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I love you. You can add in, I forgive myself. So that's clearing the old, shifting the energy there. And then we want to create and attract and change our vibration and our energy for what we want. So we write 2 lists. One list is what we need, like I need to pay this bill, you know, etc. Or I need, like something's falling apart, like my car or whatever, needs a new transmission. your needs, your bills that are like late, things like that. Then you have another list of your wants, your visions, your desires. From those 2 topics and those 2 lists, you put them together and you create one list of 3 to 10 items only. And you create affirmations from those in the style of, with this wording, I, Natalie, so you do that with your own name, I, Natalie, and then the thing you're creating, and you want to be specific, you know, in these. So one could be, well, this is one of mine. I, Natalie, have quickly and easily paid off my 2022 tax bill, which I just found the amount out last week. And so I could add that in now that I know what it is. And it's, you know, it's a lot, but then it's like, I'm like, great. The fact that I have this much of a tax bill means I'm earning abundance of money with my coaching business. Isn't that amazing? So I had that thought on the back of, you know, the thought of like, oh gosh, this bill, right? So even that's like the reprogramming in action. But I digress a bit. So you want to write these down specifically. And then morning and evening, first thing in the morning when you wake up, last thing at night, say them out, read them off the page every time, even if you've memorized them. Read them off the page and say them out loud. And I do it like I do the power stance. Sometimes I'll also do tapping with them, so you can play with that. And you say them out loud. I, Natalie, have solved all my money problems forever. So 3 to 10 of those. And then once a day, write out one of those 10 to 20 times on paper. Legibly. So that's the attraction piece. So we did the clearing piece. This is the attraction piece. And then the releasing the addiction to money piece is the glad giving, where then from you whatever money comes in for you, you give 1 to 5% to an organization, a person. And that will start releasing that addictive energy. So, was this helpful? Questions, comments? Don't forget to follow me here on Insight Timer. Give a donation if you like. Thank you for those who donated already. Send a message if you'd care to reach out. Check me out in my profile here. Please follow me on YouTube, is where I'm putting a lot of content out now. I'm making reels from my lives. It's super fun. And yeah, Facebook, Insta, all that. Yes, Carmina, great point. So I have a group here in Insight Timer called Natalie's Healing Circle. So please join that group if you want to stay connected in Insight Timer in a format where, you know, it's a group. And yes, I can post the names of those books Carmina in the group chat. Thank you, Melanie, for the donation. I don't have a Patreon yet, Patriot Lady. That may come. Yes, so. Yeah, and if anyone, hi Sarah, if anyone has a question about any of this, let me know, and you can catch the replay now if you'd like as well, which is cool. All right, so anything else before we go? Oh, I do have something else. I want to channel a few minutes of Reiki, and I want to say the specific ancestral clearing prayer for abundance. So let's do that. And actually first, I need to take a very quick bathroom break. So we'll, if you need to do that too, and I'll be back in like 1 minute. And awesome, Melanie. And then we'll do a few minutes of Reiki, and then I'll do the ancestral clearing. So I'll be right back. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close the eyes. I already before the session channeled Reiki into the space for anybody who wanted to receive it. And specifically around abundance, around money blocks, releasing that, releasing scarcity, lack, bringing in abundance, wealth, shifting the money mindset, whatever is needed for your best and highest good. And if you see a replay, that also is included in that as well. Just settle into the body. Consider and think about money for a moment, and maybe you'll have a visual, maybe you'll have a feeling. And just notice what's in your body as you consider this. And the Reiki is going to is being channeled to that right now for you. Your body mind draws that energy in. I'm also sending Reiki to all of the money memories, past, present, or future, for all of us. All of those memories and instances for healing, cleansing, purifying, nourishing, balancing. Hold on, please. So, feeling this energy move in and flow through and around you. And just being with and surrendering to what's here, what's coming up for you. Trusting. I will read the comprehensive abundance ancestral clearing prayer. So just take this in and allow Creator God Source to do this healing for you now, if you choose to. This is offered by John Newton. What is appearing in your life is often a reflection of what you feel inside. Abundance may take many forms, but none of these is your source. This comprehensive abundance prayer is encoded with a direct connection to the Creator consciousness itself, which is our true source. As you hear this prayer, you connect to Source directly and begin clearing past burden, imprints, and beliefs, allowing more abundance to effortlessly flow into your life. Infinite Creator, all that you are, for everyone here in this group, all of our family members, all of our relationships, all of our ancestors and all of their relationships through all relevant time, space, and dimension. For all hurts or wrongs around our supply, for all times there wasn't enough, for the times we struggled to survive, for all hardship, famine, and adversity, and all that we made it mean about life, people, and you, Creator. Please help us all forgive each other, forgive ourselves, forgive all people, and all people forgive us completely and totally, please and thank you. For all the times we were out of integrity with money, lied, cheated, or stole, and the times this was done to us, for all the times we disrespected or were out of integrity with the earth and the life of the earth, and for the times we took more than we needed. Please help us all forgive each other and forgive ourselves, be at peace with each other and at peace with ourselves, please and thank you. For all who represented God, all governments, parents, and authority figures, for the times they misused power, position, and authority, for the times they let us down. For all times we were oppressed, disrespected, and minimized, and times we did this to another. For all patterns of guilt, fear, shame, and unworthiness, and the times we felt we weren't enough. Please help us all forgive each other and forgive ourselves, be at peace with each other and at peace with ourselves, please and thank you. Creator, please help us see ourselves, each other, and all creation through your loving, effulgent, and abundant vision for the highest good always. Please and thank you, please and thank you, please and thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So be it done. Thank you. If you'd like to come back to a wakeful state, you can. Or you can remain in relaxation. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Britt. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Duchess. Yeah, definitely these money blocks, this process can help with that. You're welcome. Yes, me too. Haven't seen you in a little while. So please join me live again soon. Wendy Lotus, oh my gosh, you must have heard me thinking about you, or maybe I picked up on that you were thinking about me, because I swear in the last 5 minutes you crossed my mind. So glad to see you. All right, so my next live is in a few days, and join me then. Oh, that's great, Melanie. Yeah. I've missed you being here as well, Wendy. Thank you, Patriot Lady. Thank you, everyone, and you for the donations. Don't forget to follow me. Join my circle, Natalie's Healing Circle. Thank you, Deb, for the donation. Thank you, thank you. And with every dollar that I receive, I will be glad giving it forward in a fun and abundant way. So isn't that fun to think about? Thank you, thank you. I will see you all very, very soon. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening. Thank you, Jay. Melanie. Bye-bye.